GM, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. We've got some regulars, so appreciate that. Today we have a special guest. We are not inside the sandbox. Today we're in a completely different metaverse, and as you can see, it's very lively over here. It's a very beautiful scene. I could stare at this for hours. Just like if I want to get away and I just want to calm down and just be in my own head, this is what I want to look at. So that is perfect. So do you guys want to give a quick background of the project? What is it called? And what's it supposed to be?
Definitely, yeah. Thank you so much for having us. Matt and I are from MoNA. It's a beautiful decentralized metaverse built for artists by artists. Matt, our third co-founder, Alex, Patton, and I founded MoNA a little bit earlier this year, where we set out to build a virtual art gallery for artists to display their work at the highest qualities in the metaverse. And from there, we actually expanded on this into a broader metaverse vision, allowing not just for the creation of gallery and museum spaces, but for entire worlds like the one that we're in today, built by incredible artists on our team named Alv. And so with MoNA, we make it very easy for any creator to get started building a beautiful 3D space in any visual aesthetic. So it could be super photorealistic, it could be super stylized. They can easily create a 3D world using their existing tools, upload them to MoNA, and mint the actual 3D asset as an NFT, which they can then go and sell via our marketplace integration with OpenSea. So we're building an experience pipeline that enables artists to create, mint, and sell high fidelity 3D spaces as NFTs. We're also opening things up for developers to program interactive experiences within these spaces. And all these spaces can even be connected together to other spaces within MoNA to create entire communities, all inside the MoNaverse. And this is all accessible via the web browser with no downloads required.
Okay, so are you guys targeting like a specific niche, which is artists like Sandbox? They target gamers and gaming industries. For you guys, are you just solely focused on targeting artists?
We're targeting all 3D creators. When we did back in October, when we launched, we actually launched with our first build-a-thon that we did in partnership with Filecoin, where Filecoin, sponsored around $250,000 to purchase their favorite spaces that were built during this build-a-thon. And during that event, we actually saw all different kinds of 3D artists coming into the space, not just traditional 3D artists and traditional artists, but we also saw a ton of amazing AAA game designers from different game studios and different games like Assassin's Creed and Cyberpunk come in and start building these spaces. We're also attracting a lot of architects coming into the space as well. Many very new to Web3, but seeing that there's a new way that they can monetize their work, where they don't have to just work at a firm. And in many cases for architecture, a lot of times many designs sort of go to waste. And so now they have a new opportunity to monetize on their incredible designs. So we're looking at game designers, architects, interior designers, 3D artists of all backgrounds.
Okay, so it's going to be a multi-purpose metaverse at the end, the final product.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. So any creator can come in and start building and minting spaces. We don't have sort of a virtual land structure, so there's no land that you need to purchase to get started. And I would also love to plug our Discord as well. We're growing such an incredible creative community there that it's supportive and sharing knowledge and resources to help build these spaces. So would love for anyone to join the Discord as well if you're a creator or collector.
Is there a maximum amount of spaces that you will be able to mint? Like, is it a 10K total plot?
No,
10K total spaces?
No, yeah. So there's no maximum number of spaces that you'll be able to mint. So really, we want to invest in the community and in these builders to create as many spaces as they want and create an enormous metaverse of all these interconnected spaces.
Okay.
And so I would also love to plug too, as I mentioned, we did a build-a-thon back in October. We just announced we're doing another build-a-thon. We just kicked things off with the announcement on January 1st. So this month's Filecoin is again sponsoring a $250,000 build-a-thon for the best 3D spaces that are created during the month of January. It's really, really exciting. The spaces are going to be purchased in a reverse auction format style, just like the last time. And so we've had a huge number of signups already just in the past 4 or 5 days. But again, for any 3D any creator who wants to come in and start building, it's a huge opportunity. Whether you've sold NFTs before, whether you're entirely new to Web3, we sort of help get everyone onboarded to the process and starting to create and mint these spaces in the metaverse.
So let's say if I want to join the competition, where would I go to create and mint one of my own spaces?
Definitely, great question. So you want to start in our Discord. You'll want to jump right in, and then once you register through our registration form, the link is monaverse.art. You'll be able to check out our docs page where we kind of have everything laid out very clearly in a step-by-step process. We have some tutorial videos that are up as well, and we're publishing more tutorials to help. Basically, in any 3D tool that you're using, whether it's Blender, Maya, Cinema 4D, a lot of VR artists are creating in tools like Gravity Sketch and Quill. You'll want to create your 3D environment there. And then using our Unity template, Unity is a free game engine, free to download and use. You'll just import your 3D assets into our Unity template. And from there, we have some MoNA tools that allow you to export your space and then upload them to the MoNA web app. And then from there, your space can go live in the metaverse, and you get a shareable public link that you can invite others to. And from there, there's just a short QA process, and you can mint your space, and it'll go live on OpenSea.
Cool. Is this on the Ethereum blockchain or? Yeah.
So all of the 3D spaces are stored on IPFS. So the 3D assets are actually getting minted. They're being pulled from IPFS dynamically. And right now we're integrated with Ethereum and Polygon. So artists have a choice to mint on either chain right now.
Okay, cool. So how did you start the project? How did it come about?
Yeah, that's a great question. Earlier in 2021 now that we're in a new year, I've kept saying like earlier this year, this is the beginning of 2021. I saw like all of these amazing NFT works getting created. A lot of NFT hype was happening with, things like Beeple selling the huge piece for 69-70 million. And Matt and I, we go way back. We were actually RAs together in art school at SVA in New York, and we were like just so caught up in all the amazing things happening in Web3, amazing opportunities for artists that are being created. And we were like, we need to create a virtual gallery space, a way to display these works at the highest fidelity, because there were no with existing platforms, there were a lot of technical limitations, very, restrained aesthetically as well. And so we saw a ton of 3D artists, actually unable to display their work the way they wanted to. So, we started playing around with this virtual gallery idea. Matt brought in his really good friend, and now my really good friend, Alex Patton, who has a long history in the Web3 space. He formerly had a startup called SquareLink back in 2017. He's the Harvard Blockchain Innovation Fellow. And so the three of us really started working on this idea early in 2021. We caught the attention of the Tachyon Accelerator program from Consensus, and we were accepted into that. And so that was a really incredible 12-week program with amazing mentors like Gabriel Anderson, Sean Johnson, Simon Yee. Really incredible support from everyone at Consensus and Protocol Labs. And from there, we went through probably 5 different product iterations before settling on one MVP that we really got out to a lot of users. Started to get early traction. We sort of shifted from that sort of museum art gallery focused idea to this broader metaverse concept, allowing any of these 3D worlds to sort of be created, and make it more so even about like the artistic experience and the artistic value of the space, as opposed to just a gallery display space. And after that, we kind of just took off from the end of the program, and so now we've just shipped a ton of new product features. We've gotten in addition to being able to mint spaces and sell them, we've added product features like multiplayer beta, which is what we're in now, running around with a ton of different people. We've integrated with Ready Player Me, so now you can customize your avatar. And even with Ready Player Me, with their integrations with partners like Dead Mouse Heads, like I'm running around with my NFT wearable that I have now. And we with multiplayer too, we also have full voice chat working, so we could actually be in this entire session all voice chat in the browser as well. And we have a lot of really exciting things coming up for the future, but that's sort of the background.
So is the metaverse themed the specific way? So let's say Ember Sword is it's got a medieval theme, and then Star Atlas it's a space theme. And yeah, does Mona have a specific theme to it?
No, there's no specific theme to MoNA. This is really open to whatever the creator envisions for their piece and for their world. So that's what's so exciting about what we're doing is that right now we're in this really incredible science fiction, like futuristic space, right? That's maybe set in space and somewhere in the future. But there are other spaces too where you can jump in and you can feel like you're traveling back in time. It's a completely different visual style aesthetically. So creators aren't limited to just one specific theme, but you can create a single space around one theme, or because you can link all the spaces together, you can create a bunch of spaces all within the same theme and create an entire sort of community and world of these different spaces. Or, what's even more exciting, I think, is that you can connect spaces of different themes together and have one cohesive experience. But jumping from space to space, you're not in the same world. You're experiencing entirely different worlds, different times of day, just in entirely different environments.
That's awesome. I feel like that makes it more exciting because I don't always want to be in a medieval metaverse. Sometimes I want to I want to feel like I'm exploring the space. Sometimes I want to I don't know kill orcs in a forest somewhere. So I feel like Mona would be great for that.
Totally. Yeah, exactly. There's just so many possibilities for what artists are creating. We have other amazing artists like James Lee who created a really beautiful natural themed space that has these meditation pods that you can visit, that you can go and just sort of like achieve some bit of zen while you're in the virtual world. So there's so many possibilities.
Like this place, this specific world, it could be really good for me to zen out, but I feel like it could also make a very good nightclub.
Definitely. Yeah, it's funny you say that. We actually did a little New Year's Eve party in a club space that we have, but this would definitely be a pretty bumpin' nightclub experience also. We just get a DJ in here. I think yeah, that would be really cool.
Who made this world? Was it one of you guys?
This was created by Alv Larson. So he is on the MoNA team, but yeah, Alv is an incredible developer who's helping us build out MoNA, and he is also an amazing artist as well. Just really a polymath. And so yeah, this is his space.
Nice. So how many people is on the Mona team right now? Because I imagine building a metaverse is hard work.
It is, yeah, it is hard work. We still have a very small dedicated team, but with that, I think we're able to move really fast, and it is a lot of work. But this is something, and Matt can weigh in on this too. Like this is my life 24/7, and I absolutely love it. Coming from my background as a 3D artist, working at film studios, and AR startup like Magic Leap. I saw like this sort of like metaverse vision like very early on and seeing like early tech behind it. And now like getting to do this, working with our team and just like building this all day, every day has been such a joy. But Matt, as well can weigh in on his experience.
Yeah, it's truly just a special time. Not only in and for us, we've been experienced with this and seen the development of AR and VR since kind of the early part of this decade, and have worked really intimately with that. But it all kind of came together this year, and for this, it's really important to keep our team really small. We're growing fast, but keeping it small allows us to dial into our community and listen to what the builders want. And the builders are the ones, you see all these metaverses pop up with all this virtual land. Someone's got to build it. And onboarding as many incredible people to build these spaces, educating them to give them the tools and the skills to build these incredible worlds like this from Al. We have builders coming in from all walks of life, from all over the world, with a 3D experience and without it. And inside of our community, these builders are kind of workshopping the principles and behaviors of what they want to see in the metaverse, and the metaverse as the next iteration or evolution of the internet, the mobile internet, what it's going to become. We're going to spend a lot of time in these virtual worlds, and it's really important that the builders and the people who are spending their time creating these worlds have a real say in how this comes together. And we do see it as these separate instances starting in little fragments and it being wired together. Everyone's going to want a different look and feel. Everyone's going to want to identify differently and choose their avatar and their space where they hang out and where they spend their time. And with MoNA, we really enable that, allowing the creator to come in and build a world completely tailored to them. and then invite their friends into it and have meaningful experiences that they own. That is an NFT that they're not being tracked in. It's really something that's really special. And so working with Justin and Alex, our third co-founder, and the incredible team that's forming here, and the most importantly, the builders who are coming in and building these worlds. There's nothing like it. So it's a really special time.
Definitely.
How difficult is it to build a space? Can anyone just do it? Because I have no building experience. Will I be able to just come in and build something like this?
Yeah, it definitely helps if you have some 3D experience. As we said, you can build in any existing sort of 3D software and tool set. If you're entirely new to building in 3D, there is sort of like a base layer of understanding of how to do some 3D modeling to start constructing things. Blender is a free open source, really super powerful 3D software program that a lot of creators are using now. So if you're totally new, would recommend diving into Blender and just getting doing some more practice with 3D modeling. But once you can actually start modeling and creating the actual structure for the space, it's very easy to import it into our Unity template and then upload it to the MoNA web app. So that part is super easy. It is very, very easy for anyone to get started, and we provide a ton of support in our Discord. So if you are new to building and you have any questions, we definitely recommend joining our Discord. That's mona.gallery/Discord, and we're here to help every step of the way.
And
cool.
For a lot of people out there who maybe don't want to build their own space, again, we have a great community of these builders. If you're a collector out there and you want your own personal space, we can connect you with the right builder to come in and build the vision that you want as well. These are all listed. This space will be minted on OpenSea soon, and again, these are minted on Ethereum and Polygon. All the assets are stored on chain using IPFS, and so we're really early on in this, and these spaces are really something special and unique out there, so definitely check them out there.
Is there a MoNA token? Someone's asking.
Metaverse
Bull is asking.
That's a Metaverse Bull. Great question. There is not a MoNA token.
Are there any plans to make a MoNA token, or not yet?
Not yet. Right now, again, we are solely focused on building the most amazing community of builders and creators to build a massive amount of these metaverse spaces. So our entire focus right now is on building that community, building out the tools and the experience in the pipeline for creators to create, developers to program on top of these spaces, and for different events and gatherings to happen in the metaverse. So that's our sole focus right now.
Cool. And about what we were talking before, I would love to build something inside the metaverse, but I just don't know where to get started. So I feel like the easier that onboarding process is, the better the metaverse will be long term, because it'll just onboard more people into your project, which is great. And I think one of the reasons TikTok blew up is just because it made video editing so much easier for creators. So it just motivated people to come on and start making content on there. And I feel like with metaverse, it could be the same concept. I don't know how easy you can make it to build in the metaverse, but
you're absolutely right, and that's what we're striving for. We want to make it as easy as possible for anyone to come in and start building. Oh, it looks like a question about Gravity Sketch. Yeah, so Hero Zero NFT is asking about Gravity Sketch. Yes, we have some builders who are using Gravity Sketch to build some MoNA spaces as well. So it's a very easy process from Gravity Sketch. You actually just export your OBJ. I believe last time I used it, it's an OBJ export with a .mtl file. You can import that into our Unity template and get it live into MoNA. We have artists that are using Gravity Sketch right now, so you can definitely get started that way.
What is Gravity Sketch?
Gravity Sketch is an incredible VR modeling program. So on a VR headset, you can actually do some 3D modeling as though the model was right in front of you in your environment. So it's a very incredibly intuitive, incredibly powerful tool. So you can actually, one of our artists, Fractillions, actually created her space using Gravity Sketch. And she built these entire, these crazy, spike structures and this entire world basically all modeled in VR. So it's an incredibly powerful VR modeling tool.
If you're building out a space, can you build accessories and place it within the spaces?
Yes, yeah, absolutely. So we actually have something called an artifact layer with our spaces. So you can actually build out pieces of the space that you can create hyperlinks to, and so you can actually if you wanted to, for example, like this tree in the center of the space. You could actually sort of put this on a separate layer from the actual environment. And as you look at that actual tree, a little UI modal would pop up saying, hey, there's something here. This is an object, and that could be whether it's an NFT if you want to do like an NFT drop in a space, or if it's a link that you just wanted to link to a different metaverse, or if it's a link you wanted to link to your own personal website. You could do that. So you can actually drop in different sort of accessories into the space that can link elsewhere throughout the web.
So are all these accessories NFTs?
No, they don't have to be. We definitely see, like with Web3, like we evolving more and more in terms of like 3D spaces, and we definitely see that as a huge use case for that. But they don't have to be NFTs. You can use any object to link to somewhere else over the web.
Okay, cool. So you guys aren't actually selling anything right now. It seems like you're just relying on your creators to make the sales for you.
No, yeah. So with our OpenSea integration, any space that gets minted gets listed on there, and so we have collectors coming in purchasing through the OpenSea listing page. So yeah, right now we are just selling the spaces, and MoNA takes a very, very small, non-existent, almost transaction fee on that. But right now, our sole focus is just getting, inspiring and encouraging a lot of builders to build and mint these spaces. And like for the last build-a-thon, with that 250K kind of reverse auction format, the three best spaces were actually each purchased for, I think around the US dollar amount was close to $30,000, I believe. And those were like the top three winning spaces were purchased for that amount. And then from there, it kind of like trickled down to other sort of price tiers. And so there's going to be a similar structure to this competition. Maybe Matt can speak more about that.
Yeah. So what's really, really exciting about this is a lot of these, at least for our last Build-a-thon event, which we had, I think, over just about 70 spaces minted and sold as NFTs. Those were a lot of times Genesis NFTs for these creators coming in. We're onboarding at a volume unparalleled across the industry of new Web3 builders coming in, learning about this and changing lives. These are builders who have the skills and the tool sets necessary to come and build worlds, and they come in and they can win prizes around that, and that's why it was really effective. We got a great community going. We launched a second build-a-thon called the Renaissance, and we have hundreds and hundreds of signups so far. You can go ahead and register on metaverse.art. And the intent is to build spaces to come in and experience together. And so it's centered around three themes: spaces to gather in, like we're doing here, to share ideas and to meet. The second is to spaces to display beautiful worlds or works of art. So just truly remarkably beautiful spaces in any aesthetic. And the third is for live performance spaces. We see that this is where everything is heading, is having these hosted events inside the spaces, and encouraging the creation of these spaces is really, really necessary. And bringing in people who this is going to be really helpful, not only for MoNA. We'd like to think of ourselves as working across all layers of the metaverse and with everyone else. We want to be incentive aligned across the board with everyone. Sandbox and Decentraland and all of them, they need builders. They need good builders who are coming in with a lot of architects are coming into these spaces and taking that knowledge on how to construct spaces for meeting, for gathering, for purposes, and applying that knowledge to the metaverse and to these builds. And you can just see really incredible things happening. And we don't know where it's going to go. This is really, really early. And so whether you're a builder with experience or not, coming in and building right now, even if it's like from scratch and learning all this stuff from scratch, it's really worthwhile, because we're going to spend a lot of our time in these worlds across. Right now we're in the desktop browser, but once we get into these headsets, AR and VR, we're going to spend a lot of time there. And just like we saw with the mobile phone, that transition happened really fast. It's going to happen really fast in this decade. And it's really important to make these spaces beautiful, accessible to as many people as possible. That's why we're right through the web browser, and fun. And so we've got a lot of things coming up in terms of interactivity in these spaces that we're really excited about to unleash. And we're kind of building in public, that we, instead of kind of pre-selling or doing all this stuff that we've seen elsewhere, we decided to build and put this out there. And it's an early version, but it's coming along and it's rapidly improving at a pace that's unlike anything else. And so you can dive on in today. You can go to the MoNA site and create your own. Even if you don't have a space or you're not a builder, you can go and still host an event in this. You can do a hangout similar to Twitter Spaces or on Discord, and just invite your friends through a private link. Jump on in, customize your avatar, and kind of go around. And you'll see there's a lot of other things you can do. If you press the V key, you can change from first to third person. You can also certainly jump around and customize your avatar. And so our default, base is a robot. Everyone starts in the metaverse as a robot and can customize their avatar. You can adjust the view and the look, making these spaces really, really beautiful. That's kind of the genesis of the idea, is making the most incredible, highest fidelity spaces accessible to as many people as possible. And we, are trying to hit that and improve on that every single day.
Cool. You mentioned earlier that the spaces minted from the last contest were Genesis spaces. So are they more valuable than the spaces that will be minted in the upcoming contest, or not?
Go ahead, Matt.
I was just going to say, listen, it's early on in the project, right? And these are the early spaces of this. This is growing really fast and it's expanding rapidly. And so there's going to be more spaces created. It's up to, the value is in, the collector. As with any piece of art, we see these as beautiful works of art. And these are social art pieces, things that you can dive into. These worlds are absolutely incredible. And so we personally see tons of value in these spaces. And we know these artists who are coming in, they're legit. They are real artists coming in, and they're minting their own personal Genesis pieces as their first NFT. So we know that they have professional lives before even entering into the metaverse or into MoNA, and we just see them coming in and building some of the most remarkable things each and every day and posting about it. And so there's tons of value, but it's up to the collector to decide. And certainly we see a lot in these spaces, and this is growing really fast. It's going to continue to grow this 2022. Very, very rapidly. So those early pieces, early spaces are certainly valuable, and it's up to the collectors to decide.
Yeah, I feel like in the NFT space, the first of everything always has value, and it's about time until a metaverse builder becomes a superstar. And if you want to speculate on which one of these builders will become superstars, you can buy their plot, and potentially it could be worth a lot of money in the future. That is something that I know some people enjoy doing.
There is a lot of opportunity there. Like Matt said, a lot of these creators, it is their first, not just metaverse space, but first NFT. So I think there's a huge opportunity for collectors to come in and start to, eye up who the next big sort of artists are going to be especially in the metaverse space as well.
Yeah, I know this is impossible to predict, but in your opinion, how long would it take for the metaverse to reach somewhat level of adoption? I know Bill Gates recently said 3 to 4 years, but me personally, I think you can't say this. It's impossible.
Yeah, that's something like that is definitely tough to see. A lot of it is speculation. We are big believers in it, obviously, and huge investors in the space and this vision. We are going to get there. Yeah, like 3 to 4 years. I mean, I think we're seeing such an exponential adoption rate of metaverse and of like these metaverse events and use cases, especially now more than ever, in the midst of this global pandemic, having the option to connect with the entire world through beautiful virtual spaces where you can connect, have a concert, have some sort of event, even an after work party. We're going to see more and more of these use cases come up, and I think we're going to actually see a much faster adoption. But yeah, I mean, I think it's only a matter of time. I mean, you're looking at, if you look at like other platforms that have gained a serious amount of traction already, if you're looking at the type of traction that AAA games has, I mean, that's also part of the metaverse. You're looking at Fortnite that had over 12 million attendees at like the Travis Scott concert. I mean, it's just like unparalleled. So we're going to see more and more of it, and the adoption is going to continue to grow exponentially.
Ron Bonkin just said, he just said we aren't limited by conventional architectural limits. So yeah, and the metaverse, in the metaverse, the only limitation is your imagination, and I love that. We'll be able to see crazy things in the metaverse that we can only dream about in the real world.
Absolutely.
Certainly, this is a historical moment in the field of architecture as well, coming in and having functional virtual spaces that people can enter into and share together. That breaks the bounds of the traditional world, and we see that being, this is a really special point in time, and this decade is going to be, we're going to be spending more and more time in these worlds throughout this decade. Justin said you can't predict it, or you can't put an exact time or when it's going to happen. It'll be gradual and ramp up exponentially. But this is the decade for it.
Yeah. So would artists be artists are basically the architects of the metaverse then?
Yeah, absolutely. That's why everything we're doing is investing in growing that community of builders. Really, it all starts with having incredible 3D spaces for these types of interactions to happen. Incredible spaces like Alv's space that we're in right now. A 3D artist, any creator, really is going to be the architects of the metaverse. Oh, I think someone. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was gonna ask, are there any collabs you're working on right now?
Yes, yeah, we do have quite a number of collaborations. None that we can exactly say just yet, but definitely, follow us on Twitter, join our Discord. That's where we make all of our announcements, Twitter and Discord. And you'll be the first to know. We have some very exciting partnerships coming up that we're going to be announcing very, very soon.
Someone also asked, would this be used in the sandbox, and how would that work exactly versus building in the sandbox game maker?
Yeah, so I haven't personally used the Sandbox Game Maker. I've spoken to a lot of artists who have, and I've seen videos of it. But with Sandbox Game Maker, it seems like you are restricted to that very specific development environment, that very those technical and aesthetic limitations that come with it. It does seem like an incredible platform. Obviously, they have amazing traction. We love and are inspired by everything they're doing in every other platform as well. And so we're striving to actually find ways to work with platforms like Sandbox, whether that's connecting metaverses together, being able to connect this space to a space in Sandbox, making these 3D spaces that are built in MoNA interoperable, one day being able to drop one of these onto a Sandbox plot. But I think the big difference is that with MoNA, you're free to create in any 3D tool of choice that can export an FBX or OBJ file. And that is pretty much every 3D creation program. So with us, you're not restricted to a very specific development environment. Things are very open. Technical file size limits are way, way higher with us. And so you're able to do sort of a lot more and have more creative flexibility and control over the space that you create.
Okay, cool. So are there any other projects out there that inspire you right now? Maybe other than the Sandbox? That you're like, oh, that's pretty cool. I want to implement something like that into MoNA.
I mean, absolutely. Back in 2021 when we started, I know, we were sort of really inspired already by things like Decentraland and Crypto Voxels. I mean, they've just built such incredible platforms, incredible user bases. I think they're great examples of really building community first and being community driven. So continue to be inspired by all the amazing things they're doing. We love that, Decentraland has that governance aspect of it as well, with voting rights and actually having that ownership over what they're doing as a platform, really inspired by things like that. But also, I mean, yeah, they're paving the way for these metaverses and, for platforms like us to sort of exist as well. And so really, really inspired by everything they're doing.
Someone just said build in the Sandbox and connect it to a space in MoNA. You can do that? Awesome.
Yeah, if you can connect a hyperlink through Sandbox, you could definitely get your Sandbox plot going and connect it to a MoNA space as well.
Cool.
Yeah.
And what about all these avatars and NFT projects we're seeing on Twitter right now? Will we be able to use that inside of MoNA?
Yeah, we're super excited by all of those exciting things. I think Meebits just announced this very open API, so you can bring your Meebits cross platform as well. So yeah, right now we're integrated with Ready Player Me, which is an incredible tool set. We love everything they're doing. But beyond that, we're also looking to integrate any VRM, sort of avatar project. So that would include Meebits. We're looking at if you have like a CloneX, for example, with their interoperability and the way they've structured their files, you'd be able to have your CloneX avatar in here. We want to open that up for people to bring their 3D PFPs into MoNA as well.
Cool. So I'm having this conversation with my girlfriend, and she doesn't believe in the metaverse. She just doesn't think that people are going to spend time in the metaverse. So what are some arguments for the metaverse that you could make against someone who currently doesn't believe in the metaverse? Like, to me, like, the thing I tell her is that, like, I would rather work in the metaverse than go to an office, just because I've saved time on travels and I don't have to pay for gas and all that. And that's the same thing. I don't want to fly for 12 hours to go to another meeting when I can just put on a headset and be there already. Like, these are my arguments for the metaverse. Do you have anything yourself?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, apart from, my own or our own personal opinions, I mean, if you just look at the data, like, I think just back in 2021, in the first quarter alone, people spent 10 billion hours inside of Roblox. That's 10 billion hours. US teens spend up to 9 hours on screens per day. I mean, look at us, what we're doing. I'm in Zoom all day, every day. And there's a certain amount of fatigue that's coming with that, where I'm just like staring at a screen and on a video call all day, when in reality, we could be in a metaverse space, playing with an interactive game or being introduced to new visual elements. So, I think like the reality is, like, the metaverse has existed and people have been spending more and more time in the metaverse for many, many years now. It's just now platforms like ours are making this more and more accessible for people. So I would say, like, the data is certainly there that people are spending more and more time in spaces in the metaverse space. And so I think it's just up to us and up to the creators to create really beautiful worlds that people want to inhabit and spend time in.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like this whole metaverse and NFT thing, I feel like it has existed for years. People buy skins all the time. Like, I spent hours in RuneScape. That is pretty much a metaverse of its own, and Roblox is a metaverse.
Yep.
And people will spend real money to buy these skins, and then all of a sudden, if you use the word NFTs, they're like, "Oh no, not that." It's, I don't know. I just don't get it.
NFTs are Web3 is so powerful. I mean, again, like, speaking as a 3D artist myself, who's worked, for studios, and worked with other artists who are working at game studios. Apart from, just having this new revolutionary way to really have full creative and financial freedom, when you're looking at Web3 and everything NFTs can do for gaming specifically, it's like I was obsessed with Valorant like last year, and like I loved like all the different Valorant skins. But the reality is, like, first of all, those are tied to just one account. If you make a new account, you lose all of that money that you invested in those awesome skins, and you can't take those skins with you anywhere else outside of Valorant. But with Web3 and NFTs, it's like, wait, now I can purchase an accessory or a wearable or something like this dead mouse head, but it's not tied to one specific platform. I can literally use this NFT in any metaverse space, in any 3D space, and it's tied. It's like my virtual identity is tied to it. It's an accessory that I invested in that I can now use cross-platform. I'm not locked into one sort of platform or environment. I mean, it's incredible.
Yeah. So, can you actually just upload a photo of your face as an avatar?
You can, yeah. They'll do a pretty good job of making your Ready Player Me look like your photo, for sure.
That's pretty awesome. All right,
Yeah.
let me just do this real quick. So the guy with the dead mouse helmet, did he buy that NFT and then did he just put it on, or is it already built into the MoNA?
Yeah, that's me,
game?
actually.
Oh, that's you?
Yeah, that's actually me. So
Nice
Dead
avatar.
Mouse has this project called Heads, or Head 5 is actually how it's written. .io. They're an amazing project where it's a certain number of these NFT wearables. And so that's exactly what it is, integrated with Ready Player Me. If you purchase one of these Dead Mouse heads like I have, through Ready Player Me, you're actually able to wear it on your avatar, like I am right here. And again, this is not just in MoNA, but this is in any metaverse that Ready Player Me is integrated in, because they're partnered specifically with them. But they can also integrate with any platform because it's the actual 3D file that's minted, and so that that's the actual asset that I have access to.
Okay, cool. I feel like that's pretty much about it. I don't have any questions left, but if you guys that are listening and watching, if you have any questions, do let me know. Is there anything specific you guys would like to add?
I think I did see one question come up about live streaming. I think he was asking about like video. We could live stream your audio right now through Space. We're working on getting video live streaming integrated as well. I think that was like NFTIE or some I saw ask. But yeah, we are working on live streaming as well. But yeah, no, I mean, you've just been so incredible. We're so excited to be here. So thank you for the opportunity. Again, I would just love to stress that we are invested in really helping to encourage and inspire this community of builders, artists, 3D artists, game designers, architects to come in and start building just the most incredible spaces that you could imagine in the metaverse. You mint the space as a 3D asset, as an NFT that you then own. There's a ton of utility that comes with that space. We're introducing new features such as token gated access. You can hold events in the space, concerts. There's so many different use cases for this. And so we just want to inspire and encourage as many builders as possible to come and build with us. With that, we have our $250,000 build-a-thon right now, sponsored by Filecoin, running through the month of January. So it's an exciting opportunity for any artist, any creator to come in and create a metaverse space that you can own and sell and potentially win a large amount of money from this build-a-thon. So we would love anyone to just come, dive right in, join our Discord, join us on Twitter, join in the conversation. We'd love to have you as part of the community.
There is one last question. Is there possibility of MoNA in VR?
Oh yeah, we haven't even, so while we're focused on the desktop web browser, we're going to be integrating VR this year as well. So you'll be able to explore MoNA spaces through a VR headset. And also, we're looking at AR as well. Obviously that's going to be really, really huge. So we are working on those integrations as well.
Okay, awesome. Well, thank you guys for coming on. I'm super excited to see the future of MoNA. I think it's going to be great. I'm loving what I see so far. It's a vibe for sure.
You've been amazing. Thank you so much for having us. Really stoked.
And thank you to everyone that tuned in. Have a great night or have a great day. I'm terrible at intros. They know this, but I think you guys should know it too. Have a great night. Have a great day wherever you are. Peace.
Likewise. Bye.